Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. In football, it's true of matches every weekend, but it's also true of transfers. For every bargain buy that becomes a club legend, there's an overpriced so-and-so never getting picked, just cluttering up the place. The footballing equivalent of those fancy plates on display in your grandma's living room cabinet. Summer may have only been a matter of months ago, but it seems we can already pick out a few of that window's new arrivals that will not be having statues outside their club's grounds in years to come. On Football Reality today, we're naming the top 5 Premier League summer transfer flops. Number 5, Calvin Phillips. A club that has had so much domestic success in recent years, it's hard to pinpoint any major flops at Manchester City over the last few seasons. Given that Pep Guardiola favours rotating the squad, much to the annoyance of fantasy football players around the world, the seamless way in which they continue to dominate suggests that the whole squad contains nothing but top quality. Having said all that, one buy from the summer of 2022 has seen a rare City entry to the flop list. A star at the heart of Leeds United's championship-winning midfield, Phillips went on to become an unlikely England hero on their run to the final of Euro 2020. Last season, he missed 4 months with a hamstring injury, returning in April to help Leeds survive a relegation fight they were in partly owing to Phillips' absence. Reputation very high, Phillips signed for City in July for £42 million. But soon after, injury woe returned to sideline Phillips once more, as he required shoulder surgery on an injury he picked up in September, which ruled him out until the World Cup break. It may seem harsh to label a player a flop when they've been unfit to play, which is why he's our number 5. But £42 million on a guy with a sick note is not exactly good business. But what cements the 27-year-old's spot in the list is what happened before and after the injury, or more to the point, what didn't happen. Phillips made his debut in the final minutes of the opening day of the season, and since then has played a grand total of 4 minutes in the Premier League, which he got against Chelsea in January. Unused in the league from mid-August to mid-September when he got injured, it appears Phillips didn't make the impression on Pep he expected. He played twice in the Champions League and once in the League Cup in September, so he was fit, and played twice at the World Cup for England, meaning his injury had healed. As well as those 4 minutes against Chelsea, he also faced them in the FA Cup and finally made his first start in a City shirt, in a 2-0 loss to Southampton in the League Cup quarter-final. £42 million has given City 152 minutes of Calvin Phillips game time and 0 goal involvements in half a year. A flop not many saw coming. At number 4, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Hands up everyone who'd forgotten Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was a current Premier League player. You're forgiven if you had, as the Gabonese striker has had a limited impact since arriving in Chelsea on the 1st of September for €12 million. After his time at Arsenal came to a sour end, Aubameyang looked back to his best with 13 goals in 24 games in half a season with Barcelona, and looked ready to tear up the Premier League again. Chelsea were lacking a proper centre-forward, and Aubameyang looked like their answer, especially when he scored on his Premier League debut against Crystal Palace. Since then, he's only registered 9 more appearances in the league, with his most recent start a 1-0 home defeat to his former club Arsenal. That Palace strike in September remains his only Premier League goal for the West Londoners, for whom he has no assists. He has scored twice in the Champions League, though neither goal changed the final result. Chelsea may be content with trying to sign every attacking midfielder and winger in the world, but thanks to Aubameyang's limited impact, it is still the striker role they need to fill. Cracking the top 3, Antony. Manchester United have been having something of a resurgence this season under Erik ten Hag. New additions Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez have greatly improved the spine of the team, which has been key to them becoming Champions League contenders again. You can watch a video all about their new spine here. Not part of the spine is Antony, who joined from Ten Hag's old side Ajax at the end of August for a substantial £86 million. Now, you may think we're being a little harsh here. After all, Antony has scored 3 goals in 9 Premier League appearances, 5 in 17 in all competitions. But those 3 league strikes all came in his first 3 matches. Was it just a case of beginner's luck? For £86 million, you want a bit more than a player who can only score for a fortnight, especially as the winger is yet to get an assist for his new team. The wide man has an abundance of flair, characteristic of Brazilian attackers, but sometimes that flair can be his downfall. Opinion, particularly in England, is split over his use of skill moves, most notably his roulette spin, or the Antony, especially when he uses them for no benefit to the team before losing possession with a mistimed pass. It's great to see such skills at the highest level, but him being able to get away with them while not consistently producing the goods for his team is thanks solely to United improving in other areas of the pitch. 86 million for a handful of goals and some wasted skills? Sorry Antony, you're on our flop list. Number 2, Philippe Coutinho. Wonderful in a Liverpool shirt, Philippe Coutinho looked back to his best when given another Premier League chance by ex-captain Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa. For a while last season he did, prompting Villa to sign him permanently for €20 million from Barcelona. But it looks as if someone kidnapped the real Coutinho and sent an imposter instead, because the guy playing for them this season looks totally different. 5 goals and 3 assists in half a league season last time kept Villa safely in mid-table, but in half a season this time does not have 1 goal contribution. Still only 30, Coutinho can add Inter and Bayern Munich to his list of former employers, has won the Champions League and 69 caps and 21 goals for Brazil. But right now he doesn't seem to know where the goals are at Villa Park, even with the arrival of new manager Unai Emery. €20 million for what surely is a doppelganger. Bad business by the villains. Before we give you our number 1, a couple of honourable mentions go to Kalidou Koulibaly, who looked unbeatable for Napoli before Chelsea stuck him in their defence, and Darwin Nunez, another that will split opinion, especially with 10 goals in 23 appearances so far. But unfortunately, his inability to go toe-to-toe with Erling Haaland makes him a flop in some people's eyes. Here's number 1, Marc Cucurella. Is it any surprise that Chelsea, languishing in mid-table this season, and as we've seen in our From a Flop to the Top series, have a bit of a reputation when it comes to derailing careers, have 2 players and an honourable mention in this video. Brighton, on the other hand, have a great reputation for picking out players from around the world and nurturing them into top talents, but not even Brighton can withstand the Chelsea curse. Marc Cucurella was the next one off the South Coast conveyor belt, one of the most impressive players in the whole Premier League in 2021-22, and it shocked no one when he landed himself at a Big Six club, as the Blues beat off the competition to sign him on the 5th of August for in excess of £60 million. The Spaniard looks a shadow of his former self in a Chelsea side that finds itself below Fulham and Brentford in the table. From a regular starter, Cucurella found himself coming off the bench more regularly, and then not involved at all, with youngster Lewis Hall replacing him in the team for Chelsea's 1-0 win over Palace, just their second clean sheet in 9 league matches. It may seem like a gradual decline, but the fact his former boss at Brighton, Graham Potter, is failing to get a tune out of him suggests Cucurella's future at Chelsea is already looking limited. £60 million for a player that seems to have completely lost his direction, Cucurella is the biggest flop of the summer transfer window. What do you all think? Do you agree with our list, or have we got it all wrong? Which of these players will lose their flop status in the weeks and months ahead? Give us your top 5 in the comments and subscribe to Football Reality for more.